Welcome to RSPB Cliffe Pools. So I haven't been here in a couple of years, I think. Last time I was here for a stone curlew, which was awful pictures, awful. I got it was a lifer, but then I got even better pictures in the continent, on Canary Islands, and was there another Mallorca maybe? Yeah, Mallorca, got it in Mallorca. And I've always said this is a very scopy place. I don't remember getting anything of any note here. So I rarely come here, everything's very, very far. Whenever I used to get in, they said, there's this bird over there on that pool. It's been spotted by someone with a super expensive Swarovski scope. I'm like, ah. And also it's a massive, well, I've just looked to double check, and I think it's going to be like a 3.5 mile walk. So we better get a shifty on. And for that reason, just going to give you a bit of information. New extension to my tripod so I can hold my hand up and the front of the camera up higher for stability. It's not holding the camera perfectly still, but it's my emergency extension. I just got it in the mail today. So this is the main road, which, I mean, you can park on there. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it's Salt Lane. I think it's an extension of Salt Lane. But you've got these massive HGVs going by. So if you want to take your chances. So yeah, I just said it was a scopy place. And the first thing I see was a blackbird. It's up there. And just let me fill the frame with it, getting right up to its eyeball. So maybe it's giving me a little indication of something a bit more spectacular is coming up. We'll see. But the reason I did point my camera at that is there's been a lot of ring, do you pronounce it ouzels? Is it pronounced ouzels, ring ouzels? And I could mistake them for a blackbird. Very subtle difference, some of them. So I'm just checking. Anyway, so if you can get a parking space on this bit here, just the first bit of road before the gate where I have, it's only what you're going to get 3 or 4, 5 cars on there at most, because the gates close at 5, and I've got about 3 hours here, and there's no telling if I get trapped looking at a bird or something, I'm going to be panicking. And I've had that panic before where I'm worried if I'm going to get my cab locked in somewhere. So for safety's sake, I've parked out here. There is a car park, and you can go all the way down to another pathway and start there. And in the years I came here before, I parked on that road there near that entrance of that track. But like I said, there's big HGVs going by, and it just feels like there's maybe, because it's close to the factory, people can industrial state, people can see your vehicle, whereas down there it's like hidden for people to do whatever. And we did, I think like 2-3 years ago we came here and there was a burnt out car down there. So just a bit more visible here, no HGVs coming down here for safety's sake. So welcome to Cliffe Pools. So I've got to video this, take picture to remember. I'm not familiar, when you come here often enough, you'll start learning the names. So the Crystal Pool, the Radar Pool, the Blackburn Pool, Black Barn Pool, the Flamingo Pool. And I remember there were some birds in here that would have been a lifer in this pool here, but couldn't get anywhere near walking wise, and I was doing my head in and I was covered in mud trying to get there. So what were they? Mergansers or something, I don't know. Anyway, let's see if we can crush this today. See if something interesting pops up. I mean, there's plenty of birdsong. I mean, okay, yeah, it's mostly robins at the moment. So I'll get back to you when I start seeing some stuff. But I think I saw yesterday, I think there was some ruddy shelduck here. So I'm not going to be getting any great pictures of them, but I don't care, because I've got them in the continent. I got them in Malaga, lots in Malaga. If you go around Malaga, loads of shelduck, ruddy shelduck. And I got them in Fuerteventura. So I'm not worried about that, but just interesting to see a different bird here for a change. Well, a different bird anywhere, because I could have gone to Elmley. I need to do all the different places. I can't just keep doing vlogs about the same 3 or 4 reserves. So anyway, again, I'll get back to you when I see something more interesting. So we just walked one side of the Crystal Pool, and we've got all the usual suspects. Nothing majorly exciting. I think common pochard was probably the most standout, if that's a standout one. Common pochard, plenty of little grebe, and they are all juveniles, no adults. So adults have gone and juveniles are fending for themselves and doing extremely well. Shovelers, yeah, good number of shovelers. Yeah, always catches your eye when you see that big old beak. And then just here we had a lovely swan, probably juvenile, I reckon. From that, the beak isn't very colourful. And where are we now? So this is kind of north of the crystal pool. It's this little pathway that's been blocked off by a big pipe, so I shouldn't spin you around too quickly there. And just along the edge of the crystal pool there was a little egret walking along the edge, picking out, I assume, little flies and any kind of shrimpy bits that might be around that bit of the water, water's edge. So I just missed it, a flock of something. So it's always when I start filming, a flock of something. I'm guessing I'm going to go not shell duck. I'm going to go redshank. Just flew over to this pool here, which I've just forgotten the name of, but I will constantly try to remember, or I'll put it on the screen later, anything I forget. So that's a bigger pool there. And we're going to walk along this walkway. Some grey-lag geese. Yeah, and we're going to walk along this. This is a good vantage point, this path there. We can get a bit higher to keep an eye on things. But yeah, the weather's changed, drastically. The top's come off. I was getting so warm, and we're starting to get some blue skies. Yeah, look at this. Which way I can't see which way those clouds are moving. Looks like they're moving that way, so we're going to get a little bit of blue sky. But it's really nice here. I mean, it's like if I had this place outside where I lived, I'd go for a walk here all the time, and it'd be really, really pleasant, despite all the factories, all the container ships over there. I don't know, sand and concrete over there. Anyway, let's get on with some bird spotting. Did I miss anything? No, I think we've covered everything, and yeah, I think that's it for the moment. That other side of the pool I couldn't get the name of was just the other side of the crystal pool. It was just separated by a path, and yeah, it probably was redshank, because we're now at the flamingo pool, huge flamingo pool, hundreds of lapwing. Sprinklings of avocet. Shovelers, coot starlings, several now mute swans. Had an overhead pass by some common shell duck, but then there's a big flock of them at the back there. And probably seen about 20 little egret now flying around. I managed to capture a bit of slow-mo of one, but they're jumping about all over the place. And the first nice little surprise for the day was, this is why you should just double check anything that stands out. It was in the like the sort of side of the pool, and it was kind of white, light grey white. It could be anything, could be a bit of rubbish, could be a bit of plant. Checked it, common greenshank. So yeah, it doesn't hurt to check everything. Just quickly lift up your binoculars or your scope and have a look, or your camera. And greenshank, so that's a nice one. And then looking into the trees, I saw it could have been some dead leaves, but you get into that habit of noticing shapes at the top of trees. So you check a young kestrel. So yeah, I mean, I'd say 50% of the time I check something that thinks, oh, go on, have a check. It turns out to be something. Sometimes, yeah, just a wood pigeon or something like that. But usually, yeah, if it's a wood pigeon, you can tell a mile away. You can see a little bit of white and the big plump body. But if it's something sleek, it's going to be something interesting. So we're going to check. I think there's some goldfinch here. We're going to check if there's anything with them. They're having a preen. So yeah, so far so good. We're hitting some numbers here. Mouth of the Cliffe Creek. We've got some grey herons further in. I definitely heard a wagtail go over. don't know which one yet, probably pied. I've seen pied here before. And as usual on this kind of mud, plenty of teal. That's going to be a bit of sun flare here, but let's just turn around. So yeah, up here with some, it's probably for cement mixing or something, quickly to come away from there. And as I was coming up the path here, rabbits were running along, and as I was standing, would have liked to have got them on film, and then as I was standing on here just set to start recording, some over there, so they're all out and they've got nice puddles to drink from. Mallards out in the water there, nothing feeding down here. What's that? It's a common shell duck up there. Very, yeah, super peaceful. I think people saw that there could be some rain today and they didn't come out. I've not passed a single person. Luxuries, having a massive chunk of Kent all to yourself for the afternoon. So yeah, when we were at the flamingo pool, there were a flock of goldfinch, so I, resting on a tree, preening. So I took the opportunity to go through them carefully to see if any brambling were in there. I heard a chaffinch call, so goldfinch, brambling, chaffinch, you never know. Nothing yet. And before I left the flamingo pool, I did notice some slightly different birds at the back, and went and had a look through. You can magnify 100 times. You can't record, but you can magnify to look, and it was a big flock of black-tailed godwits. And there was a single lighter one at the front, but it was sleeping with its head tucked away. Convinced was a bar-tailed. Anything else in there? I'm sure I saw some linnets going past in the bush in front of me I couldn't catch. Rabbits. I think that's a catch-up. What are these? I think there's a goldfinch again. So yeah, a good little catch-up. That's East Tilbury on the other side of here. I had to check for a second, I couldn't get my geography right. Yeah, heck of a black cabbie you are, mate. But yeah, East Tilbury, it comes up a lot. I have been over there once. The barrier again for me is the Dartford Tunnel. But apparently there's I think that's the fort there. Some good birds over there. I mean, I saw common redstart the last time I was there, probably a year ago. It was just after those fires, so everything was quite burned. Anyway,